I want to talk about one of the classic investment behavioral mistakes that people make. And this came to me when I took my kids to Chuck E. Cheese not too long ago. I took my 4-year-old to the Whack-A-Mole place, the game there, and a Whack-A-Mole pops up. You know the game, there's 8 or 12 holes where a mole comes out of, and you try to whack it with this big, huge mallet. Well, she would go to hit it, and with her 4-year-old reflexes, she would always be about a half a second or an eighth of a second just late, and she would just miss it. And then the next one would pop up, and she'd just miss it. And she kept missing these over and over again, and I realized that's exactly what investors are doing. The average investor in the last 20 years has made about a 2.5% return in an index that's made a little better than 8. So here we have this huge disparity between what the index is returning and what the individual investor is making. And I think it's largely accredited to the Whack-A-Mole syndrome, where we're looking at what just recently did well. What is the latest trend? Something that just went up 20, 30, 40%. That's the investment that I want right now because that's what's hot. The problem is it's already taken its course and we're late. There's a remarkable statistic that investors who sold an investment last year or 2 years ago and then took that money to buy a new investment, they replaced it. The investment that they sold did 3.6% better than the one that they purchased, suggesting that they should not have sold the investment that they had. Now, that's not to say that we should hold on to investments forever and just buy and hold and forget about it. We believe that you ought to be active in your portfolio management and tactical. But the idea is we can't sell something that's not fundamentally flawed in favor of the latest, hottest trend. Warren Buffett really said it best, and this to me is the antidote to the Whack-A-Mole syndrome, and that is find a trend, and I'll paraphrase and say find an emerging trend and throw yourself in front of it. So the assignment is look in your portfolio for what it is or activity in your typical trading history of what you're buying and selling. What are you buying on an emotional basis? What's like the Whack-A-Mole syndrome where you're buying it and it didn't perform well? And let's try to remove that Whack-A-Mole syndrome. Let's eradicate it and start looking at trends that are emerging and throw ourselves in front of those trends.